If you make this movement, the animal has already spotted you. Most people think that approaching an animal is simply a matter of being discreet. But in reality, everything happens long before you take the first step. Hi there, I'm your wildlife virtual guide. Today, we're going to look at how to approach an animal without disturbing it. And you'll see, it has nothing to do with luck. It's all about method. The rule is simple: you never force an encounter. You always let the animal decide, and you adapt your behavior to what it feels. But be careful, not all animals can be approached the same way. A prey animal doesn't react like a predator. Some species are extremely wary, others much less so. And birds have their own safety distances, sometimes very short, and sometimes much longer, depending on the species. That's why knowing the behavior of the species before attempting any approach is essential. The animal profiles in the WildlifePhotographer app show you exactly these differences: whether a species is shy or not, how it moves, where it feels safe, and what distance you should respect. With that knowledge, approaching wildlife becomes more natural, softer, and above all, much more respectful. Before trying to get closer, you need to understand how the animal sees you, smells you, and hears you. Sight varies from species to species. Hearing too. But scent, that's the very first thing they detect. The wind can carry your scent tens of meters away, and often much farther than you think. So the basic rule is simple: you always approach against the wind, never with the wind at your back. Most beginners walk too fast, and especially, always at the same rhythm. But in nature, animals move in small sequences. They walk a little, they stop, they listen, then they move again. Do the same. Walk slowly, take pauses, observe your surroundings, check the wind, listen to the birds. Your rhythm becomes natural, and you reassure the wildlife. A human standing upright, walking in a straight line, for many animals, that's clearly a danger signal. It's exactly the posture of a predator. So if you want to approach without creating stress, you need to completely change your body language. Bend your knees slightly, keep your shoulders low, and move with a soft, flexible rhythm, without sudden movements. Also avoid direct eye contact. Staring at an animal is often perceived as a threat. Look around, observe, but don't lock your eyes on it like a target. The idea is that your body should communicate something simple: that you're calm, predictable, and above all, not in a hurry. The more relaxed you seem, the more relaxed the animal will stay too. Birds are truly your best allies in the field. They warn the entire forest long before you even arrive. A jay suddenly calling, tits getting restless all at once, a blackbird taking off loudly in front of you, none of that is random. It's a real natural alarm system. If you hear those kinds of signals, it means something has spotted you, a fox, a cat, or even another hiker. In those moments, slow down immediately. Or simply stop, observe, listen, and let the environment settle. Often, by respecting that silence, wildlife regains confidence, and you can continue your approach without stressing or scaring the animals. To approach an animal, you can use everything around you: a tree, a hedge, a rock, or even a small slope. The goal isn't to hide like a ninja. The goal is to avoid suddenly appearing in the animal's field of view. Because in nature, that's an instant alarm signal. So you move slowly, from cover to cover, using each element of the landscape as a natural transition. A tree, pause. 2 steps, pause. A bush, pause. Little by little, you just become part of the landscape, something that moves slowly, without threat, without pressure. It's this gentle, almost invisible progression that allows you to approach without stress and stay accepted by wildlife. The most common mistake is trying to get too close. We want the photo so badly that we forget the animal has its own limits. The right distance is very simple. It's the distance where the animal does not change its behavior. If it stops, if it stares at you, if it lifts its head, if its ears turn in your direction, you're already too close. In that situation, you do one thing: you stop. You wait. You let the animal analyze the situation, relax, and decide what it wants to do. Because in a truly ethical approach, you never decide the final distance. The animal does. Approaching an animal without ever disturbing it also means knowing when to walk away. If conditions are bad, if the wind shifts, if the animal is stressed, or simply if something feels off, then you step back. You let it go for today. And you know what? Walking away is not a failure. It's a sign of respect. It says, I'm not here to force anything. This is your space. I'm not here to put pressure on you. And paradoxically, it's often exactly this attitude that leads to the best encounters later on. Because nature always rewards those who take their time, those who observe, and those who know how to wait for the right moment. The best way to approach an animal is not to try to approach it at all. It sounds strange when you say it like that, but in the field, it's actually what works best. You observe, you adapt, you slow down, and little by little, you fall into the rhythm of the place. You become nothing more than a calm, predictable presence that isn't trying to gain ground. And animals sense that immediately. They know very well when you're not putting pressure on them, when you respect their distance, when you let them move at their own pace. It's often in those moments that the most beautiful encounters happen. Not because you got closer, but because the animal accepted your presence and chose to continue what it was doing, as if you were simply part of its landscape. The more you know your terrain, the easier and smoother your approach becomes, and above all, the less stressful it is. When you know where animals move, which winds they prefer, where they rest, and which paths they use regularly, you no longer need to get too close. You anticipate, you position yourself better, and the animal naturally enters your observation zone. And this is exactly where the WildlifePhotographer app can really help you. You can record regular passage routes, your observations, the tracks you find, and the areas where wildlife is active depending on the season. Week after week, you build a real living map of your terrain, a map that evolves, shows you wildlife habits, and helps you move around in a far more natural way, without ever forcing an encounter. Approaching an animal is first and foremost a matter of respect. If you want to create beautiful images, the most important thing is to never change its behavior. A true wildlife photo is one where the animal lives its life, without even noticing you're there. Thanks for watching this video. If it helped you, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which animal you'd like me to cover in a future video. And above all, take care of wildlife, respect its rhythm, and enjoy every moment in the field. That's where everything begins.